When I was first getting started as a website designer, it used to drive me crazy when I would follow other website designers online trying to decode their secrets to success. And every time they were asked, "Oh, and how do you find all these dreamy clients?" every single one of them would say, "Oh, pretty much all of my clients come from referrals and word of mouth." Yeah, not super helpful for someone who has zero previous clients to actually refer them to new clients, right? But that's the thing. Sometimes it literally just takes one happy past client to literally get the referral train rolling. And how you handle those first few clients really can be the difference between you having to go out and hand search for your next client every single time a project ends versus having a steady stream of eager clients being sent your way. Now, I hope you'll join me in welcoming lovely past student Lauren Taylor as she shares how implementing a rather generous referral incentive program combined with a few other simple marketing strategies that she shares in the interview has totally skyrocketed her business. Now, if you've been dreaming of becoming one of those designers who is fully booked out on referrals, but are actually hesitant on giving away a chunk of your hard-earned revenue in the form of a referral fee, then you will not want to miss what Lauren has to share in this interview. But just before I turn the mic on over to Lauren, if you are struggling to find those first few clients in the first place, I invite you to take advantage of a free training which I recorded called Finding Clients as a New Designer. In it, I share the 7 most common client finding mistakes that new designers make, which could be keeping you small and struggling. So you can find the link to that training right here, and I'll also pop it in the description below for you.
So I worked in the SEO industry. That was my first job out of college. And I worked at an agency for 2 years, basically helping high profile individuals and big corporations clean up their Google search results. So if you typed their name into Google and there were some negative articles or bad reviews, we would try to push those down in a sense, not doing anything that is like against Google's guidelines, but really trying to make their Google search appearance look more positive. And so I learned a little bit about looking into the back end of websites to look at different SEO elements, but that was about as far as my coding knowledge went. I didn't really have much design experience. Like I took a couple graphic design courses in college. I was a public relations major. So naturally, like I learned a little bit of graphic design, but it definitely wasn't anything too extensive at all. So I definitely had to learn those skills when I started my online business. Yeah, so I realized at my job that I was doing more like technical tasks and I felt like I was missing something in my career. So when I found out about the online business world and people that were taking these online courses to learn things like website design, that sounded really intriguing. And just having more of that like artistic and creative outlet that I was lacking from my 9 to 5. So I realized that like with combining my SEO experience of working at this agency and combining that with like the design side of websites, it was like the perfect match for what I really wanted to be doing. So at the time, like when I got my job, like learning SEO just felt like so foreign and kind of not like a random side of digital marketing, but I realized when I started my business with doing website design, just how valuable that SEO experience and knowledge really was. Well, I had been following Paige for probably over a year by the time that I purchased Square Secrets. And I knew that like she knew everything about Squarespace. I've been binging her blog for like a year and using her blog to put together like my own website. But then I realized that I definitely needed more direction. And if I actually wanted to be doing this for clients, I needed to invest in a course that was going to give me the knowledge and like resources and skills to actually be able to hire or not to hire, but to take on those clients to redo their websites. So yeah, it was really just like knowing that she knew like everything about Squarespace, and I really trusted her from reading all of her blog posts. I didn't really have much experience besides going into the back end of Squarespace and playing around with like the different blocks and everything, but I really had no idea what I was doing. So I really didn't have much experience with that besides like playing around with the platform before joining the course. And after taking the course, I felt like I really knew a lot more about like how to use Squarespace and even like website strategy. And I completely revamped my website, and I felt so much more confident going into like sending proposals to people who needed new websites. So it definitely gave me a lot more confidence, and I felt like for myself, my design capabilities just like became like so much better. Like I felt like I became so much more knowledgeable about how to use the platform, but also just like website strategy and different things like that. So it was, I would say it was like a really big difference. Like after I took the course, I wish that I had purchased it sooner, because I think I was in her second round. And I saw when she was promoting it for like the first round, I was like, oh, I really want to do that. But I felt like I didn't really have the money. So I had to wait like 6 months, and I wish that I had done it before. So it was like a really big transformation after taking the course. So my first client was more of like a coworker from my 9 to 5 who had hired me to do his branding, but then he was going to do his website on his own, and he did to a degree put together a website, but it was not good. So I offered to just give it an overhaul for free, because at that point I think I only had like my website and then a couple like fake homepages that I had put together just to put on my portfolio. So he was my first client per se when that was free, but my first paid client that came probably like a month later, and she was a wedding photographer, and it was actually like a great opportunity because she had posted in a Facebook group about like needing a website. And of course, when you see those Facebook threads, it's like 50 people commenting with their website link. And so I landed her as a client because I actually sent her an email with a website audit of her current website. And so that's what got her to set up a call with me. And then I guess like my process that I outlined and everything, she just felt like really confident with what I had to offer, and then she signed. So that was a really exciting day. I would say that it's really random. There really isn't like one set way, but I would say referrals are big. Clients find me in Google, on Instagram. Um, In-person events have been great. Of course, that was more like pre-COVID, but that was really great. I would go to different like business networking events, and pretty much I'd walk away with a client from each one. So that was really amazing. And like in addition to like the connections as well, I've also gotten clients from like online group coaching programs or masterminds, because you're with a group of people for 6 months to a year, and you get to really like understand each other's business, and just having those connections, that's been really helpful with landing clients as well. Yeah, so with the referral program, there really aren't any like crazy strict rules. It's pretty much either someone can set up a call with me, and in that call form, I ask how they found me. And so referral is an option. And I think then there's like a box to say who referred them. But if they don't, input that information, then we can jump on the call and I can ask like, hey, like who referred you? Or I have had past clients email me and like connect me with the person that they want to like set up a call with me. And so I find out like that way, pretty much as long as I know who sent them, then that's like the most important piece. And then if they decide to sign, then once that project, so if it's a website design project, once that project is complete, then I would send the person that referred that client, I would send them a payment through PayPal. And right now for my website design packages, the standard is $5,000. So if someone were to sign, I would send that person $500. So I feel like that's, I've tried to like up the amount as I've increased my, or the rates for my packages, just so that the past clients that are sending those people to me really feel appreciated. and it's worked out really well so far. Yeah, so on like the website launch call, that is where I typically tell my clients that I'm going to follow up with an email to like a testimonial questionnaire, and a recording to like the launch video, like walkthrough of the website, and then I also mention the referral program in there, and then inside of that actual follow up email, I have a link to my website so that I update that as my rates go up and as I change how much money I'm going to provide to my past clients. But yeah, it's pretty much like you're on a video call and then also with that email follow up. I would say that they've all been pretty different. I don't think so far I've had someone send two people my way. I mean, I've definitely had people like refer their friends or like their clients to me, and we'll get on a call, but sometimes they don't always sign for like whatever reason. So I feel like it's been pretty sporadic in terms of who's sending clients to me. It's not like I have one person who's sending like 10 clients to me. Um, but yeah, I mean, I would say like it hasn't been like the only way that I've been getting clients, but I feel like I definitely get like a few each year, which is definitely very helpful. And now I'm scaling back on my projects, so I'm only doing like one website a month, so there's definitely more of like that limited capacity. But yeah, I mean, so far it's been really great. I would say, I mean, the main, or like I would say like the main thing that people say to me about why they chose me, like beyond referrals, is my experience and knowledge with SEO and being able to like fully optimize the website and going like above and beyond in that sense, of maybe not just like condensing the images down to like a smaller size, which I know some designers don't even do. So that's, I mean, even that is just like a big part of the process. But even like going further and making sure that like the image file names and alt text and title tags and all of those different backend elements, just making sure that those are all optimized. So I feel like that's like a major theme, is that people like that I have both of the creative and the technical side of websites. I don't think there's been any like major lessons. I mean, it's definitely helpful to have it. I mean, I guess I set that ground rule that like I'm very happy when people like refer their friends, but that person has to like sign in order to actually like receive the money. I think when I first started, maybe my packages were around like $2,000 for a website. And I think maybe it was around $100 to $200. Not, of course, like giving away like too much. You definitely want to keep, most of the money that you're making from the website, because it is a lot of work. But I definitely think like starting small is fine, and working your way up from there, whatever you feel comfortable with. But yeah, I would say that that's really like the only tip that I have. I would definitely say that that most of those people that sign are very much my ideal clients, because I definitely I love working with a certain like group of people, like mainly online coaches and creatives. So I feel like once I work with an online coach, it's like, oh hey, here's my other like online coaching friend, and for the most part, I feel like I've become very selective as well with who I take on. So if I feel like I can't help someone, then I'm very upfront about that. Or if I, just don't feel like it's the best fit in terms of like their business and whether or not like I, am excited to actually take on that project, then I don't take on everyone. That, yeah, like I'm saving time on like from like advertising, and they're just basically like handing this client to me. So it is definitely like, yeah, I'm giving away some money, but that's like time and energy that I didn't have to spend advertising and talking in the DMs, like trying to convince them to set up a call with me. Like they're just sometimes ready to go because they know like someone that they trust has said like, hey, like here's someone that I know, you should hire them, they're great. And that really goes a long way. I would say that it it is very important because that determines to a degree, if people are actually going to hire you. Because if they go to your portfolio and they don't really see anything that they like, then they're probably not going to hire you. So to a degree, like, yes, your design skills, they are very important. But you really have to know how to market yourself. So I feel like that's another big thing. Like, you have to have those marketing skills and understanding who you're speaking to, and how you should be speaking to them in a way that's actually going to convert them into clients. Because you can have a beautiful portfolio with amazing designs, but if you can't speak to your ideal client, or you're not able to attract your ideal clients to your website, then they're not going to book with you. So I would say that having that like messaging and positioning nailed down in terms of marketing is just as important as having, really great designs on your website. I probably did in the beginning. Actually, I'm sure I did in the beginning. I remember the first time that I pitched a client and told them that the website was going to be $1,000. Like, that was like the lowest price that I ever started at. I remember being so scared and being like, oh my God, like, they're not going to hire me. Like, who am I? And I think at that time, like, I only had my website and maybe, like a couple of those, like fake homepages that I had created. And I had done their branding. And so I felt good about then pitching the website. But that was definitely a scary call. And they ended up signing on and they trusted in my abilities, because it was a very different vision than what was on my website. It was not like feminine or girly or anything like that. And it worked out great. But yeah, I would say like along the journey, because I've been doing this for 3.5 years full time so far. And I feel like there's always periods where I deal with imposter syndrome. But I also feel like that's where educating yourself like comes into play, in terms of like, okay, like I started with Paige's course, and then from there, like I've taken a couple coding courses, I've taken a few copywriting courses. As I've raised my rates, I've also been investing in that professional development. And so I feel like that's really helped as well, because then I'm able to bring more to the table when clients hire me. But yeah, I've definitely dealt with it over the past 3.5 years. So typically I try to wake up and I have breakfast and I try to do a workout, because for the first like 2 years of my business, I put my my health and fitness on the back burner. Like, I was more like working like 10 to 12-hour days. And it was just not really working out. So now I try to like actually put myself first in the morning. And then I typically will like check emails, and then depending on on what I have going on, that pretty much like determines the rest of the day. But it could be, client calls or sales calls, or like working on my course, or pitching a podcast or something like that, writing blog posts. So it really just like depends. I definitely like to batch my content. So or like batch my projects in general. So it depends on what's what's going on. But typically I only try to work 6 to 7 hours a day, unless I really need to work more than that because of like a client project. And yeah, so typically by 5, I try to shut my laptop. If I need to work an hour after dinner, then I will. But I typically try to keep more of those boundaries, because I know how easy it is to work until 10 o'clock. And and then I guess like after dinner, then I just try to like hang out with friends, or read a book, or just do something for myself. I would say to not give up, because in the beginning, it can definitely feel really overwhelming. There's not only, new skills that you're trying to learn, but you're also trying to learn how to run a business and market yourself. So it can be very overwhelming and just easy to kind of put things on the back burner and say like, oh, I'm going to get to it. But it's really best if you just take it like day by day, and tackle, like little projects at a time. And I would say also like writing down your accomplishments as you complete like little projects, or just like celebrating every little win. Like every time that I land a client, I like dance around my room. Like it's because like then it puts me in like the right energy and mindset. And when you really appreciate those little wins and even big wins, then it makes it easier as time goes on, and you have to handle like more obstacles in your business, because it never, it definitely does get easier, but you're never not going to have obstacles or dealing with, like things that, or like you're always going to be dealing with something new. So you have to be able to like keep yourself in the right mindset and keep yourself going. So anytime that you can, put yourself in the right mindset and have a positive energy, then it's just going to be a lot easier for you to run your business. I would say to just dive right in because it's definitely worth it. It changed my business entirely in the beginning, because I was just trying to go off of free blog posts. And even though, Paige has written like every blog post under the sun about Squarespace, there's nothing like taking a course where you learn literally everything that you need to know in like a step-by-step guided, like video series. So it's worth every penny, and it's just going to set you up for success, and it's going to save you a lot of time compared to reading all those blog posts. And then like once you take that, then you're really able to launch your business from there and just get started working with clients.
So I hope you'll join me in a great big thank you to Lauren for sharing her insights. Now, if you are dreaming of doing what Lauren has done and you're ready to discover the marketing strategies that will have you booked out and building a business that really fits with your lifestyle and personality, then I invite you to join her and over 3,000 past happy students inside of my Square Secrets and Square Secrets business courses. You can find out when enrollment is open next by visiting paigebrunton.com/courses or by clicking right here. Now, if you found this video helpful, be sure to let me know by hitting the like button. And remember, to get the best tips on building a web design business, be sure to subscribe and hit the little bell button so you know when new content drops on the channel every single week. And if you're looking for something else to watch, I highly suggest these videos too.